Hello everybody, Meerkat's popping in. You guys should try it on the live call. Did you do how to create a $1 billion? Okay. Then with Meerkat, you got to put it in this way, which is called upright mode, and the other one, or vertical mode, and the other one, Periscope. You can put, now you can do Periscope horizontal. What are you doing?
Flipping the camera.
Oh, yeah, so it's right here. Cool. All right, hello everybody, here we go. So a little, those of you watching here on Periscope and Meerkat, this is too low here. I'm just doing a demonstration for all the people in my VIP program. You can see here, we just did you guys missed out, all you Periscopers. We just did a live video stream here from my backyard, and we did one, and I'm using you guys as an experiment, how to build a blockbuster idea using social. You guys got to get good at social. So we're gonna have, I don't know, 1,000 people here in a second. So here we go. So anybody of you that were in the live call, let me talk for 1 millisecond here give you guys a quick update. By the way, there's 3 minutes left on the button for those of you on the live call. All right, my head shouldn't be cut off. All right, so here's the deal. Bill, we were just talking about this book. Howard Schultz, he starts Starbucks. He takes it to a $60 billion valuation, market cap on the company, okay? Insanity. This kid's born in the ghetto, Brooklyn. He's born in the projects. My dad's from the projects. My dad's from Harlem. My dad wasn't in the projects. He was in Harlem, which is, when my dad was born, all of Harlem. It's gotten nicer now, but it was all the projects. And so, let me come over here. Might be a better view. So, Howard Schultz pulls off what's called a blockbuster idea. Those of you on the live call, been here the last hour and a half, you know what a blockbuster means. What does a blockbuster mean? Blockbuster has several characteristics. Do we still have the whole thing here? Or did we tear it off? So the characteristics are, it's a simple product. 2 out of 3 people in the demographic know what it is. Like an iPhone's Blockbuster, because 2 to 3. Those of you watching the live call, I want you to practice saying this back, even though I can't hear you. The best way to learn is to recap and teach it to other people. That's why all of you should have a YouTube channel. All of you should have Periscope, Meerkat. All of you should have a Twitter, even if you only have 1 Twitter follower, because by typing and teaching others what you just learned, regurgitating it, the science says 56% more likely to actually remember it. 56. If I told you there's a simple formula that make you 56% richer, everybody in the world would do it. Well, I'm telling you one. You got to remember shit. People always ask me how I have a good memory. Simple. Not anything magic. You could do the same thing. I have a good memory because I recount it back to me. Okay? Somebody said accelerator billing problems, don't drop me from the program. Yeah, I got a support at my office 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. So yeah, contact them. That shouldn't be a problem. So blockbuster idea. 2 out of 3 people know it. Everybody watching on the live stream, be recounting this. Where you are, let people think you're crazy. Teach it back. 2 out of 3 people in your demographic know who it is, what it is. Number 2, it's a simple product, easy to understand, not something convoluted, like an iPhone, a Starbucks cup of coffee, a GoPro camera, a Netflix account. These are all Google, a simple search engine, all simple, okay? Then the last and the third is the most complicated, ever decreasing margins. Every unit you sell, it should be less and less and less expensive. Does that make sense? Less and less expensive. So, those of you watching, we've just gone through the 4 things, best lessons from Howard Schultz, building Starbucks to $60 billion from nothing. And does anybody remember what those are? Quick recap here. Those of you not in the live call, you're not going to get the full thing. But where's the other ones? Did we throw them all away? Yeah. So I do them in the right order. Ty, what's the baddest thing you ever did in high school? I was an athlete in high school, so I was focused on basketball. Number one, you got to grow with discipline. The creation of a strategy, sticking to the strategy, adjusting. Most people either grow really fast, which will make you broke, you'll run out of cash flow, or people grow. Felix Dennis said the same thing. He's the man who started the Maxim magazine. So, next. Where's the second one? Yeah, balance intuition with rigor. That means some of you in the PASE system, some of you are all intuition. You only go by your gut, so you make mistakes. Some of you are all logic. You just have Excel spreadsheets and you never do anything. Balance. Know when to go with the gut and when to do logic. And whatever your natural inclination, start just like jiu-jitsu. You know, like I was training with Higan Machado. Most people do a choke, a rear naked choke with the right arm because it's your strong arm. So you start choking like this, but he makes you do, he has a whole system. You do both. He trains Vin Diesel, Chuck Norris, people don't know, has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You want to get them on both sides and practice both sides, rigor and intuition, okay? So then the third thing we talked about, innovate around your core. All Starbucks had to innovate around was coffee. He did not need to know lots of other stuff. He didn't. I talked about this guy who was called the Banana King. That's all you have. He needed to know was bananas, okay? Very, very important. Next. And the fourth thing, you gotta find new ways to see, new eyeballs. That's very important, new eyeballs. And the only way you get new eyeballs, I listed them all. Mentors, books, conferences, online programs, consultants, travel, seminars, interviewing, and getting around some celebrities, right? And last but not least, feedback from your customers. Guys, you gotta do that. You gotta do that. Very, very important. All right? So, questions. Those of you in the accelerator, let's do some questions. Anybody in the 67 step, the accelerator, I answer first, 67 steps, then I'll answer some questions for everybody. So, somebody said, I stopped doing what I know I should have been doing, so this program is getting me back on track. You will learn more in the 67 steps program than you did in all of high school. 5 stars. Cool. All right, let's see. Paying customers. If you were in the 67 steps VIP and you, for whatever reason, didn't get the invitation, it's different reasons. Sometimes your emails, our email system goes into your spam, but every Tuesday, every other Tuesday, you can know. So 2 weeks from now, okay? So your name is Sawari Carl. And the other thing is, if you're in the VIP or accelerator and you missed the live call, we'll give you a replay just for people in the program. Okay. All right. I need to assign the next book for the 67 steps. So I brought it out here. I brought a few. Books will change your life. Absolutely. Where is? Hey, by the way, I'll tell you a good book. This one I already did, right? Can you double check? Yeah, that one I did. I'll get it in a second. Yeah, Relentless was last time. I'll look for it in a second. I'll pull it up on my phone. All right, someone said trend stacking is the best thing I learned. Yeah, I just did this talk with Jay Samit, who literally wrote the book on how to disrupt and create new trends. It's insane. All right, Ty, I'm in the inner circle. When are you gonna invite us to your house? So those of you in the inner circle, I've actually got someone here who's in the inner circle who just popped in. Do you wanna say hello?
How's it going?
Tell him where you came from.
From Missoula, Montana.
He's from Montana. So I have people in the inner circle, which is the highest level thing that I have, okay? So yeah. Ty, what book is that called? This is the book, the Starbucks book is called. There's a few books by Howard Schultz, by the way. This one's very good. Onward. Onward. Okay? Yeah, so the 67 steps is divided. Somebody's talking about the monthly subscription. So you get the 67 steps, the 67 videos, just a one-time payment for all the videos. And then the VIP program is to get access to these live calls. So that's monthly. But you don't have to be in both of them. I highly recommend you are, and people that are in it, stay in it, because it changes their life. Somebody's launching a website for gourmet French roasted coffee. Top things you need to know. Yes, so if you're launching a coffee business, here's the deal. You need to dissect everything. You should know more about Howard Schultz and Starbucks than any person on the planet. You should try to get an interview with Howard Schultz. If you can't, get an interview with somebody who interviewed him. You got to get competitive intelligence, it's called. And what's his name? This Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War. The Art of War. What did he say? If you only know yourself, but not your enemy, for every battle you win, you're going to lose a battle. So a lot of you entrepreneurs or people starting out, you're too focused on your idea, and you're not focused on what people are already doing that are killing it. And you have to know what they're already doing. Very, very important. Very important. I might need a second to go grab my book. You know what book I should do, but I don't know if I'll do it because it's controversial, is that Liberator book. Man, that's such a good book. Take a few more questions, then I'm going to announce for all of you guys on a live call. I'm going to, show you some stuff, the next book. Why don't you post this live talk on your Instagram? I don't post this because this is for the premium stuff. So I'm showing you guys, all the people here on camera, these are the people that are watching. This is not on my social, okay? This is not the social. I give away, 70-80% of stuff for free, but not everything. It's not fair. You always want to find the people most interested in what you're doing, and you go to war with them together. Accelerator, does your business life disrupt your romantic life? What you want to do in life is you don't want anything to drag down any other important area of your life. So if you're making money, you don't want to lose your health. You don't want to gain 100 pounds. I know a guy was just telling me one of his buddies worked for, I forget which huge billionaire. And the billionaire worked him so hard, he basically had a heart attack at like 40. So why would you want to do that, right? So what you have to do is have a primary focus at certain times. So let's say your primary focus right now is making more money. So that's your primary, but Steve Ballmer, he kept a spreadsheet and he made sure he spent time with his kids, okay? So he had set time, even though he's not gonna be remembered for he wasn't at every basketball game of his kids and stuff like that, but he didn't neglect anything. So, don't neglect your health. No matter how busy you are, work on a treadmill desk. I have a treadmill desk. You can be working and easily walk 6 miles a day. Easy, 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 easy. All right, Tai, 67 steps. When's the next lesson? Sunday was gold. Yeah, well, I gave a talk on Sunday. Some of you got in. Why is this not on Meerkat? This is on Meerkat. You just got to go to Tai Lopez. So, all right, I'm gonna do something here. Where's my phone? Where did I put it? I'm gonna pull up the next book on my phone, but before we do this, I want to ask one question for all the people on the live call, the main premium live call, and you guys in Periscope and Meerkat can try to comment this. Okay. Blockbuster ideas are ideas that spread so virally, so quickly, that 2 out of 3 people that you know in the demographic that you're selling to will know what it is, which is insanity, right? Imagine 2 out of 3 people, you know how rich you'll be? All right, what do you think is the #1 reason you haven't had a Blockbuster idea? Or Blockbuster strategy. Idea is just in your head, but a Blockbuster strategy is an idea that you start to put in action. Why? Is it fear? Couldn't think one up? You think too small? Don't have enough practical know-how? No one ever told you? What's the reason? Laziness? Write a comment. I'm going to 60 seconds I'm going to give you guys. This is absolutely the most important thing. Because look, what if I get up here and talk? What does that have to do with you guys? All the stuff I do, I want it to be interactive. That's why I like Periscope and Meerkat. That's why I like this live call. Because me lecturing is like a college campus. And we know most people that go to college just get a lot of debt and an average life. Not everybody. But you got to interact. So I want you to think, you can leave more than one comment. Try to be in depth with it. What's the real reason? Diagnosis is the beginning of all cure. Diagnosis. You go to a doctor, they'll have a long diagnosis. They'll be like, well, your cholesterol, lipids are here, your HDL level. Like, they don't just give you like, oh, you're not healthy. That's too weak. Somebody said time constraints. Think deeper, all right? 60 seconds, I'm gonna be right here, and I'm gonna pull up the next book that I want you guys to read. Oh, I know which book it is. I got a good one. A good damn book. Those of you not in the 67 steps, you're gonna miss out on this bad boy. So I'm gonna show you guys here. What's your reason? No Blockbuster idea. See, I've been lucky a few times. I've hit on some things. Obviously, I've not hit on them as big as Mr. Howard Schultz, but I've hit on some Blockbuster stuff. I had a video that got hit, that got viewed 1 billion times this year, more than one video. So that's a Blockbuster. So I'm telling you, not just from a book, but my own real experience. Meerkat is spelled M-E-E-R-K-A-T. Just Google it. Meerkat's alive. And I'm gonna pull up this book for you guys. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back reading this book. Please buy it. It does not cost a lot of money. It's gonna cost you, I don't know. The book, it's $12.57 if you get it brand new. I'll do that. He has 2 books. I'm gonna do this one. It's $12. This is the founder of Maxim magazine, but lots of magazines. He started tons of magazines. All right, I'll show it to you guys here on the live call. It's by Felix Dennis. He died very recently. Okay, it has a. Now he wrote this book as a joke because he was very rich and he thought he would just be funny and call it How to Get Rich. Felix Dennis. All right, I'll show it to you guys here. Felix Dennis, How to Get Rich. It's a joke title, but the guy made literally hundreds, and I don't know if he made $500 million. I think he was worth. He said, you know you're rich when you can't count how much money you have and no one can tell you how much money. He said, I can never figure out how much my net worth was because all my accountants disagree. So it's How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. If you're watching on Meerkat and Periscope, get in the 67 steps, and when you get in there, you get in on the VIP program. So in 2 Tuesdays from now, we'll be talking about this game-changing stuff. This is the stuff that your mother, father, and teachers should really have taught us, and the fact that they didn't is a tragedy. You got one life, man. You will get old faster than you can imagine. All of you people that are 18 isn't young anymore. 18 is not young anymore. What about a clothing line? Sure, there's Blockbuster ideas in clothing, of course. Look at the guy from Shark Tank. All right, so I'm gonna take the last few questions from over here, and then I'll take a few over here. Can you refresh? Someone said couldn't think of one. Someone said I didn't know why I don't have a Blockbuster idea. Tai, I have not been consistently hitting my one thing. See, yeah, what we talked about, procrastination. Most likely I didn't have the know-how. I need serious team players. Tai, I've acted too small. Tai, I have ideas that eventually someone else does. Yeah, because you're probably too rigorous. Let's see. Tai, I'm not getting any notifications about the live call. Best thing, contact my office. Sometimes people have unsubscribed, or if you add your number, we can send you a text reminder, but it's every other Tuesday. Okay, if you're in the accelerator, those of you got in, it's the other 2 Tuesdays. So there's one every Tuesday. Tai, I'm in the accelerator. What do you do to remember what you read? I talk about it. You guys go open a social account and start talking about what you're reading. Even if no one's listening, it's for yourself. Tai, lack of humility and fear. Tai, I grew up in an environment that taught me to just go to school, get a job, and not think big. Yeah. Howard Schultz says right here, one of his secrets, he gave about 10 secrets. Don't embrace the status quo. What I want you guys to look at is the status quo is Ebola. If somebody came up to you with Ebola and they started breathing on you, what would you do? I know the answer. If you have any brains, you would run for your life. And if you're around subpar people who have no aspirations, you should run just like they have Ebola. I know that's harsh, but it's the truth. Tai, what was the book called? It's by Felix Dennis. It's called How to Get Rich. It's kind of a joke, but he wrote it as a joke, but then he started giving away his secrets to how he made hundreds of millions of dollars as a newspaper and magazine publisher. He wrote Maxim is one of his magazines he created. Tai, how do you create a 50-50 welfare trade-off ratio with people below you? Well, people below you can help you. They should intern for you. You know, they should work. They should help with some entry-level stuff. When I was with my mentor Joel Salatin, man, he made me pick up. I had to take care of 10,000 chickens every morning for him. Tai, we're in the power generation business. How to break through the noise with the blockbuster ideas. When current industry leaders control the message. We're a $5 to $10 million company that is breaking ground. Yeah, you need to see the talk that I did with Jay Samit that I just put in the freaking accelerator. He talks about how to disrupt the power service. We were talking about solar paint. Isn't that crazy? There's solar paint. You're gonna be able to paint your house and it's gonna generate every nook and cranny. It's like power is gonna make, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna be a billionaire who's on my social network that's gonna figure it out. So if you're in that power business, read the book Disrupt You by Jay Samit, but watch that. I brought him here in my backyard. I'm here in my backyard and I gave him a little talk. I mean, he gave me a talk for an hour and a half. Very inspiring. Tai, have you read Blue Ocean Strategy? Yes, I have. It's a great book. Tai, my issue is tardiness. Tai, what's the one thing you recommend for expansion? So make sure, if you're in the 67 steps like you are, go back and watch the talk I did on 1 sheep and 100 sheep, which is a technique that my mentor Alan Nation taught me about how to be scalable. It's a 30-minute talk. I can't give it all right now, but you have access to 67 steps, so you don't even have to pay for that. For those of you in the accelerator, I just did a talk on scaling with Neil Patel. One of my buddies, Neil Patel. This guy, he's famous. You've seen his companies. He owns 4 or 5 big companies. Crazy Egg. He owns, you know, all these software companies. And he's got enough money that he has to change where he lives for tax purposes. He's a young guy, and he talks about the secret to executing to scale. One of the things what Howard Schultz talked about, core competence. What do you think of Sam Harris? Yeah, I did one of his books I talked on. What do you think on Tim Sykes and his penny stocks? Don't know anything about Tim Sykes' program, but I've seen people saying that it works for them, but I'm not affiliated or I don't know them. My favorite book on health, The Story of the Human Body by Lieberman. I did a free talk on that. That's in the on my YouTube channel. Incidentally, I just go down and picked up The Magic of Thinking Big from the library. Also read The One Thing last night. It was a gut punch, smack to the face, and a bucket of cold water all at once. Gary Keller's a badass. He is a badass. Tai, I missed the VIP call. We'll send you out a link in a day or two. We'll put it back up in the vault. Best book on taxes. Ooh, taxes, very specific. Be careful. I would start with a simple book like Taxes for Dummies. That's what I would start with. How do you create a successful social media apps? If you want to be the next Periscope, Snapchat, Facebook, you have to overcome what's called the network effect. It's very tricky, very, very tricky. My best advice to you, start in a teeny market and dominate the teeny market. Peter Thiel, he was a genius, is a genius. He started PayPal. He's one of the first investors. He owned 10.5% of Facebook he invested in. Pretty good investment, right? He paid $500 grand for 10.5% of PayPal. I mean, of Facebook. he says always go to the smallest market that's viable. So he said don't want it too small that there's no customers. But that's the information on the network effect. So when Facebook started, he just dominated his school, just Harvard. That's it, Zuckerberg. Tai, because of your advice, I always start with the For Dummies books. Yeah, they're great. They're a lot better than people think. Tai, you're changing the world. Well, I don't know about that, but knowledge is changing the world. So this is part of the knowledge society. So I'm gonna get off here. Been on here for a while. Those of you on the live call, those of you got an accelerator, awesome. Remember, we'll be back in 2 weeks with Felix Dennis. Felix Dennis is insanely intelligent. So for those of you in the program, not you in the Meerkat Periscope, use on the premium stuff. Game changing. How many comments do we have here? You can see, those of you not in, we had 709 comments here. You guys, if you're on Periscope Meerkat but not in the 67 Steps VIP program, click the link on my website tailopez.com, and you can get in. I just got a new updated explanation of the 67 steps. So go to tailopez.com and it's there for all of you who are just watching this live call. This is the future. These new social platforms. Be on Meerkat and Periscope today. You can follow the stuff I'm doing. It's funny. People are like, how do you get good at social? Just watch what I'm doing. That's what I do. You know how I learned how to do Twitter? I found this kid that's like 16 making 20 grand a month on Twitter, and I private messaged him and I was like, can I call you on the phone? He talked to me for half an hour, but the rest of the time I just watch what he did. And now I get 1,000 retweets and favorites sometimes on Twitter. I did one that got 7,000. That's the same as Kim Kardashian. And I only have 160,000 followers, and you know, she has 30 million. So there's techniques. Be observing. You can watch the stuff I'm doing. Find other influencers that are doing stuff. Okay. Last question here, if there's any. Recommend a book for public speaking. You know, a good thing for public speaking, go to Toastmasters. There is that book, Talk Like TED. That's kind of a cool book. Before I did my TEDx talk, I watched that book. I watched that book. I read that book on the way to Luxembourg. I gave a talk in Europe. Tai, can I get into your classes? Yeah, just click tailopez.com. You'll see the link, 67 steps. Last question here. Do you suggest I start with affiliate marketing via SEO and the transition it into e-commerce, or go straight into e-commerce? My general gut feeling in life, if I had to give myself advice, is I would go directly, much more directly for what I want. So like, if you're a guy and you like blonde girls, that's like your type, don't date brunettes for a few years and then they'll lead you to introduce you to their friends who are blonde. We all remember for geometry, the shortest route between 2 points is a straight line. And so you got to go pretty directly. Sometimes you got to take there's a little roadblock and you got to take a diversion or a detour, I mean. But for the most part, you know, it's not that way. Here's a little tour of my house. I won't give a full one, but can you pan out there on this one? There's the guest house. There's a gym, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 16 seat theater, movie theater. This is the house, 17,000 square feet. People always ask me how big it is. It's 18 bathrooms and 16 bedrooms. Can I swim? Yep. I used to be a junior lifeguard. I almost became a lifeguard. So I can swim. Do I have a steam room? Yeah. This house actually has an insanely large master bathroom. It's about 2,000 square feet. So there's 2 steam rooms in the master bedroom. There's 2 wings of the bathroom. But again, this material stuff, it's cool, it's fun, it's better than being broke. I've been broke and I've not been broke. But I also live, 5 years with an outhouse. So I've done both. You're not necessarily happy. Look, if you have a choice between being poor and broke, poor and rich, better to be rich. But if you have a choice between, if you got to get rich in a way that destroys your life, then it's better to stay. I don't think you want to stay poor. I don't recommend staying poor, okay? But not everybody has to be filthy rich. Life comes and goes. In 50, 60, 80 years, all of us will be in the ground for the most part. So keep, Mahatma Gandhi said, if I didn't have the ability to laugh at myself, I would have committed suicide a long time ago. So I try to not take myself too seriously. I like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all that stuff and cool houses, but at the end of the day, you know, believe it or not, I like the basketball. There's a full court basketball court. That's what I really like here. And I like the jiu-jitsu room. I actually stay outside most of the time, and there's a garden area. So it's cool. You can I threw a big party here. You can hold 1,000 people here. So there's cool stuff here, but wherever you are, just ratchet up. So to end, all the people on the premium VIP call, I want you to leave the #1 action item you're gonna do today. Don't procrastinate. Pick something. It can be like, you know, remember we were talking about if you're only follow your intuition, try some rigor. Make an Excel spreadsheet. If you're always rigorous, do something where you start to develop your intuition. Okay? Buy a new book. Book a new travel to a new conference that's going on. Okay? We talked about Blockbuster. Read this book that we didn't read yet, that a lot of you didn't read, especially those of you here. Read Onward. I mean, it's the formula right here. Build a $60 billion company. You can't do better than that. Okay? Learn from everywhere. So, anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. All of you here, click on 67 Seps. And, yeah, talk to you guys soon.